thank you all for joining us today to deliberate on STI-based public-private partnerships, which are playing a crucial role in amalgamating public and private sectors to perform collaborative research and innovation, leading to technology development and its successful commercialization. Now, I request our coordinator for DST-Centre for Policy Research at Panjab University, Chandigarh, Professor Nirmala Chongtham, to deliver formal welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. And first of all, a very good morning to all. Respected Professor Rajesh Gill, Dean Research, Panjab University, Chandigarh, Mr. Rahul, Head Strategic Project Manager, Global Innovation Technology Alliance, also known as GITA, New Delhi, faculty members, students, researchers, scientists, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all for this webinar on behalf of DST Centre for Policy Research, Panjab University, Chandigarh. Our center is one of the existing 3 centers which was established in 2014 by Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the 2 other centers, they are located in IIT Delhi and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And our center works on 3 mandates, and one of the mandates is to develop a new country-specific model for promotion of public-private partnership for R&D. The topic today, titled STI-Based Public-Private Partnership in India, Global Innovation and Technology Alliance, an exemplary PPP model to be delivered by Mr. Rahul, is very important, as public-private partnerships are of great interest to academicians, industry, and policy makers. As we all know that scientific innovations are one of the key drivers for the economy of a country. GITA is a public-private partnership between Technology Development Board (DST) and India's Apex Industry Association (CII), and its major aim is to strengthen scientific innovation ecosystem through supporting and enabling technology and innovation driven enterprises. We are very thankful to Mr. Rahul to spare his time and be here with us to share his knowledge on STI-based public-private partnership. And my personal and we are from the center are very thankful to Dr. Professor Rajesh Gill, because she has a very busy schedule being the Dean Research, and she is along with us. Thank you, ma'am. And now I will ask Dr. Radhika to take forward the program. Dr. Radhika.
Thank you so much, Professor Nirmala, for setting the floor for today's webinar. Our guiding host, Professor Rajkumar, Vice Chancellor, Panjab University, will be joining us in some time. He has conveyed his best wishes to each one of us. So we are now joined by Professor Rajesh Gill, Dean Research, Panjab University, Chandigarh. She is Professor at Department of Sociology in Panjab University and is member of numerous committees such as Gender Sensitization Committee, Punjab State Audit Advisory Board, CSIO Institutional Ethics Committee, then Expert Group for Evaluation of Social Impact Assessment Report for UT Chandigarh and for Punjab, and many more. I request you, Professor Gill, our special invitee for the webinar, to deliver the special address to our audience. Over to you, Professor Gill.
Thank you, Radhika. A very good morning, everybody. It is indeed my privilege to be a part of this program organized by DST Centre for Policy Research, Panjab University, Chandigarh, particularly Professor Nirmala. On behalf of the Panjab University, I welcome Mr. Rahul Kulshreshtha, Head Strategic Project Management, Global Innovation and Technology Alliance, New Delhi, who is the keynote speaker in this webinar. We are grateful to you for your kind presence and for having agreed to share your thoughts and experiences on a specific public-private partnership model, that is the STI-based public-private partnerships in India. I'm sure that the participants, including our faculty, research scholars, and students, will greatly benefit from your address. While the PPP model is being hailed the world over, the Government of India has been promoting it for scientific innovations, especially for facilitating the funding of infrastructure development by the private players. GITA, as Professor Nirmala just now narrated, is one such organization which focuses upon professionally managing government's industrial innovation funds and inducing research and development with global partners. It has been playing an important role in offering funding for various projects, capacity building, and strengthening of innovation and ecosystems also. As a social scientist, I am aware of the public private partnerships, even in areas such as urban management, which is my area of specialization for a long time, especially for creating and managing the infrastructure, ecology, environment, and services in large metropolitan and mega cities, which appear to be unmanageable today. And this model has proved to be very, very successful with enormous implications. I'm sure that today's talk would be extremely useful to the researchers in various areas with rich informative potential that can be put to use for academia industrial partnership in current times. Universities urgently need such ventures based upon PPP model, not only for financial purposes, but even to maintain a synergy with industry so that the research generated by us is relevant and replicable too. My compliments to Professor Nirmala Chongthem and her team for organizing this lecture. I wish all of you a very fruitful session. Good day. Thank you for making me a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Gill, for highlighting the importance of public-private partnership for building our STI ecosystem and its huge impact on society. Thank you once again, ma'am. With this, I take pleasure in inviting our keynote speaker for the day, Mr. Rahul, Head Strategic Project Management, Global Innovation and Technological Alliance, New Delhi. Rahul has started his career in chemical engineering and worked in industry for 8 years, mainly in commissioning, erection, and stabilization in manufacturing plant. In 2015, he had diversified his career and joined an innovative platform, GITA, which is a public-private platform itself that was established with Technology Development Board under Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, and India's Apex Industrial Association, Confederation of Indian Industry. He's aligned with the vision of strengthening India's innovation ecosystem through supporting and enabling technology and innovation-driven enterprises. Currently, he is responsible for managing international collaborations, industrial R&D programs for 8 countries like Israel, Sweden, South Korea, Italy, Spain, Canada, etc. And other national programs under Ministry of MSMEs with DRDO and Department of Heavy Industries. Having interest in intellectual property right, he is also a registered patent agent. He is nominated as an honorary member in IIT Mumbai for Smart Cities and Infrastructure Committees in 2021. So with this, Rahul, we look forward to your talk, and there's so much to learn from the GITA itself. So with this, the floor is open for you, Mr. Rahul, and we look forward to your talk and future collaboration in taking STI-based PPPs for reinvigorating the Indian STI ecosystem. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Radhika, and thank you, Professor Nirmala. Thank you, Professor Gill. She has really set up a context for this kind of platform, which is very important. And first of all, I would like to means give my wishes in terms of because you and your family during this crisis time. I hope everyone is fine and they're working well, and I hope we will come out with the situation very soon. The things are going on right now in the direction, but we have to be a little bit more. Uh, we have to come out because working in home almost. I'm also working from home for almost 1.5 years, and it is a person who is very much interacting, networking with industry. I keep I keep on traveling throughout India for industry due diligence visit. So and now only inside a four wall, it become very difficult. So I know it is difficult for everyone who is present here, and I hope we will be passing this time with a positive note. So coming back to the presentation, I just share my screen. So Radhika has already given a background about GITA, that GITA Global Innovation Technology Alliance. It's a joint venture between Ministry of Science and Technology and CII, which has been set up in 2011. So almost we are in the 10th year, a decade has been completed for this model to come. But it was started on some of the basis. What was the background? Why such kind of organization is needed? what what is the pain point where actually India's ecosystem, especially the innovation ecosystem, was having, and why such kind of PPP model is required for the growth story of India. I'm just taking you into the history also, so that we understand where are the gaps. So genesis of GITA, why it was required. So if we see the Indian innovation system, there are few stakeholders, which means the government, the academic and research institutions, industries, venture capitalists, entrepreneurs. So there are multiple stakeholders into this India innovation system. And what was the gap that time when we have done a research with Indian ecosystem and the global leaders that time? Because I always said that time USA was the country who were actually globally known for their innovation system. Nowadays, we have more countries which are popping up, like Sweden is there, Switzerland is there, Israel, South Korea. So, what are the differences between this global innovation leader ecosystems and our system? Where are the gaps? So, coming back to the government, definitely the responsibility of majority funding when it comes for research and development, whether it is in the global innovation leaders countries, or whether in our country it is almost same. So, majorly the government is taking a role to push research and development in the country. If we talk about the other countries who are good in innovations, we see they collaborate across ministries to enable creation of national innovation infrastructure. Right now, this is a gap. Right now, we are working in this directions. There are multiple efforts has been made after that, and recently, National Research Foundation has been approved with a budget of almost 50,000 crores, which is we see as a one-stop solution. But still, we feel that most of the ministries, they're working in the closed compartment. Every ministry, they have their requirements, they have their mandate, but it is very much different. Like heavy industries working in the capital and goods sectors and the automobiles, DST working in most of the areas nowadays, MNRE working in the social solar or renewable energy. So, but there is not an integrated effort, and there should be a body which should actually provide a platform which can integrate all this ministry, incentivize private participation in innovation and R&D. Definitely, nowadays, a lot of efforts has been done by the government, but still the contribution to that level is not there. We will also see the figures there. Then encourage monetization of IP. Many steps has been taken in India, but still we are not in the place where many of the IPs has been generated in the research institutions, but they are not coming into the market as a commercialization. So the major issue was there has to be an integrated innovation system, which should be bureaucratic in nature. If we talk about the next stakeholder, which is academic and the research institution, definitely you see most of the research institution, they allocates most of the funds for the fundamental research. Most of the research which has been done in the center of excellence, whether it is in India or whether it is in the innovation countries, they are focused on the basic research. And there is a requirement where the research should be done on the applied research. the research should be connected to the market. So we can see the actively seeks industry participation in research projects for commercialization. The global leaders, they innovates and incubates IP to enable monetizations. They act as an uninhibited breeding ground of innovation spanning industrial applications within close quarters of industries. They have a well-established technology transfer offices. Right now, we have in some of the best institutes, but it is not there throughout. Means we are coming out with such kind of mechanism, but still there is a gap in India. So what is the major issue is, so there is a lot of funding which has been done in the academic and research institutions, but it is spent for research which is little bit far away from the development, and it is just because of one factor where the industry participation is minimum. If we go to the next, venture capitalists nowadays, if we talk about venture capitalists, definitely India has come up very well. We have grown up this venture capital industries. Almost I was seeing more than 560 industries are there. A lot of FDI has come into the industries, but it is if you see the contribution, it is specific to the sub sectors only. If you see the consumer tech, mostly like e-commerce, mostly like food tech, but it is not wisely spreaded amongst all innovation systems like agriculture, like manufacturing. These are the area where we need to boost up. We need to boost up the manufacturing index in our GDP, which is approximately 15-16% only. We want it, our target is 25%. We are targeting it. So that can only be done if it is a equally spreaded investment which is coming from the venture capital. Incubators, definitely India is also doing well in the incubators, and we comparatively we have grown. I was just seeing some data, and it was approximately 260 incubators right now in India, which is supporting more than 2000 startups. But still, what I feel, the facility which is given into the incubators, the support which is given to in this incubator is not only funding, but the mechanism to take that product into the market is missing. So they are struggling. They are doing research. They are getting incubated. But if you see, when we talk about the startups, we are the third largest ecosystem for the startups. But when we talk about the survival rate, it is very low. So out of the 10, 9 startups they fail, and they fail because there is a lower level of innovation and technology and the business model. That is the major area where actually there is a gap. If you go to the next, India's ecosystem, what is the gap in entrepreneurs? You can see the entrepreneurs, how most of the in global countries they work on the innovations. In India, we have to come out. See, we have jumped in our global innovation index. We are at 40th rank last year. But if we have to really become into first 10 innovation global innovation index countries, we have to come out with a jugaad innovation. So that is what our right now we are mostly working in the commercialization of own way development. We are not focused on the innovation ecosystem. There is no connectivity. There is no support from the innovation ecosystem to the entrepreneurs, and that is very much required right now. And this is a very big gap right now. Also, I feel this gap needs to fill up. We are working in this area. Many more things has been done by the government uh, to push this innovation system, and definitely we have come up to 48. But I'm sure that now, if you have to go ahead and come into the in top 10, we need to really innovate. Then only it is possible to come into the. We have made the infrastructure is growing, but there is a requirement where the innovation ecosystem has to be pushed up. Talking about industry corporations, that is the major pain point India is having. So industry, what we have seen, India actually jumped from the agriculture sector directly to the service sector with the boom in the ICT and the computer engineering sector. We forgot to actually uh, the main core strength in research and development, that is the manufacturing sector. So very few R&D related activities by the industries. We are initially we became just a trader kind of thing where we bring the technology from outside and we sell it in India. But the innovations, that skill, the capability which are required in industry, the focus is very less. And there is a need where the industry now should work on innovations and IP generation for the growth. So there is a major gap, and this is the major pain point of this country. What are the factors? If we talk about, we are talking about global innovation index. I was just going through some papers also. Like what are the patent also talk about India, how we are really working. Patent analytics really talk about more the number of patents, more will the success of the companies. That is what we see from the patent analytics. What trademark registered in India? Researchers' intensity. If you see the comparison with China, France, per million we have right now it is 216. When GITA was started, it was only 57. Actually speaking, scientific and technical journal, you can see how India we are doing well in this area, but still there is a push. The major pain point, what again I would say, is R&D expenditure percentage of GDP. If we compare, I will be showing afterwards also how this contribution, but almost from last 5 to 6 years we are stuck at this 0.62 number percentage, and we are pushing too much, and it is only possible once the industry will come forward. Annually you can see there is almost R&D spending for the world globally is almost 1.7 trillion US dollars, and we have 3 million patents. We have high tech whatever exports, because that is what we want when we are becoming globally competent in innovation, that our high tech exports will be growing. So you can see even in patent filed it is 45,000, granted it is right now 23,000. Out of that also I will show you there are figures. Most of the patent has been filed by non-resident, means they are filed by the people who are in the abroad. This is what I was talking. If you see, this is a very recent data also. The patent filed in our country has increased. Definitely, it has increased from almost right now 40,000, 50,000. We are becoming a 10th number rank in the world. But if you see who is really filing this patent, the 70% patent is coming from the non-resident. So that is the area where we should actually focus. So the innovation has to come from the companies and researchers from India, and it should get patented and it should get commercialized also. So this is the gap we can see in terms of patent. National R&D expenditure, I've in the last 4 or 5 years, though the gross expenditure on R&D it has been increased almost in last 10 years. If you say from 39 crores to almost 1 lakh 23 crores presently, because our GDP is also growing, but the percentage of contribution, if we compare with innovative country, we are still stuck up at 0.7. And this is the goal. This is the goal with which GITA has come, that we wanted to increase, especially the private industry's contribution into R&D. This is the stage where India is. You can see India 0.6. If you compare the best innovative countries where contribution, Israel 0.5% of their GDP, South Korea is also 0.5%. These are the South Korea has come recently into top 10. They have done a lot into developing their innovation ecosystem. Sweden, Switzerland, US was already there. Still they are doing. But if you compare India and with the growth in our present GDP, we have become almost sixth. Right now, we are in the sixth rank, but still there is a gap, and we need to really push not only this R&D expenditure from industry in academia also. So this is what I was in comparison with other countries. If you see the this bar line of India, it is totally reversed. You see, the contribution of government is 52%. So we are already contributing 0.6%. Out of that 0.6% also, more than 52 to 60% has been contributed by government entities, state governments, PSUs, and academia, and the contribution of industry is only 41%. And it is totally reverse if you see the other countries. Even in, I should say, the industry contribution also, sorry, the academic contribution is also low comparative to other countries in GERD. So when GITA was made, these were old figures, but still we are nearby. Some of the figures has been seen. So if we're ranking that time GITA on the parameters 1 to 8, availability of scientist and engineer, that time it was 3, and if I talk right now, it has degraded, and especially the quality of research people which can be employable by the industry, it has been degraded. Right now I was seeing 2018 data, it was 32 rank. Rate of growth, definitely due to COVID it has been impacted, but yes, it was 9-10% I was seeing, so that is good. GDP, we have jumped to sixth. That time we were at 12. But if you come into the quality of scientific research in institution, 27. Now we are at 13. Company spending R&D, I don't feel there must be much change because we are not able to push that parameters also. Overall ecosystem, right now all this parameter has been taken care under Global Innovation Index, so which is 48 ranking. Patents, you have seen that time 57 to today it is 200. University industry research collaboration, this is very important, 45 it was ranked, now we are in 26. So a lot of efforts has been done, and this gap between execution gap between the innovation system and the GDP, if you see, it suggests that though we have a good innovation system, but it is not connecting with our market. It is not generating or helping us to our economic development of the country. Those research which has been done in academia, it is not coming out and commercializing and helping actually to grow this country. So this is the gap which is we have found, and with this gap analysis, GITA has been made. There was a poor investment. There was no mechanism where that time when GITA came, there was no mechanism. We used to only fund academic institutions. So there was no flexible mechanism, even that time GFRs and all. There were a lot of restrictions were there, and we were not able to give direct incentives to industrial R&D. There was a poor collaboration. If we talk about the Indian right now, it has been opened up. Uh, the world is moving toward a open innovation network. Even the present science innovation technologies is talking about this. So there is a poor collaboration between Indian and the global companies, for especially for the joint R&D technology partnerships. And with this understanding, when actually our S&T minister that time, he visited to with a delegation, industry delegation to Israel, and he said, okay, we wanted to do collaborations between academic. So Israel said that no, we that is fine, academic, but we wanted to have a industry collaboration also for joint R&D. So we came back that time, the GITA team, that time leaders were there. They have done a discussion. They have seen this gap, and then they realized that there is a requirement of model which can actually push industrial R&D and especially joint R&D network throughout the globe. So with this thought process, GITA has been made, and it has been started with a special purpose vehicle in 2006-7. We started with Israel and Canada. We had tried to understand how this model works, and then when we become comfortable with the Prime Minister Council on Trade and Industry, they have recommended incorporation of government arm length entity under PPP mode to professionally manage government funds for flexibly providing to industry for doing R&D, including global partners. So that is the main aim, the flexibility which is required to work at the international platform in terms of time management, in terms of funding, in terms of collaborations. All these flexibilities, the coming out of the bureaucratic structures, that has been given to GITA because it has been owned by the industrial association by the 51% and 49% by DST to give this kind of flexibility. So this is how GITA got registered after the SPV trial, and 51-49% with shareholding of Government of India and CII. We have been directed by the elite industry leaders from, I should say, directors from industry and government both. And presently we have Mr. Deep Kapuria from High Tech Gear, chairman, who is our chairman also. Toyota chairman, vice chairman, Mr. Kirloskar. We have Infosys, we have Tata, we have Godrej, CII nomination, and from government we have DST, we have TDB secretary as a co-chairman, we have MSME, we have Ministry of Commerce, especially DPITT. So we have been directed by a very unique joint board of industry and academia. And what is this vision? Vision is strengthening India's innovation ecosystem through supporting and enabling technology and innovation-driven enterprises. We wanted to catalyze India's recognition as a key innovator, to inspire, to encourage Indian industrial community to come towards to recognize especially R&D and deployment also, because it's not only development and deployment of this technology is very important to become a one-stop solution for transferring technology, world-class technologies between different countries, to develop a vibrant skilled workforce. So with this mission, GITA has been made. These are the mandate. We do funding on behalf, especially in SNT, on behalf of Government of India. It is in the form of grant, conditional grant. Earlier, we used to give loan, also soft loans for technology acquisitions, from innovations, R&D collaborations, capacity building. We help industries to actually offer such kind of informations, matchmaking, IP protections. We help in strengthening ecosystems. We are actually involved in many of the strategic policy research, advocacy to the industries, research institutions also, and deployment of these programs of different government, different Ministry of India. This is what right now presently we have a portfolio. So the major mandate with which we started was with international collaborations. So the gap, one is why we do not involve this R&D. One is the risk of funding, that we may fail. Who will take this risk? Second is, where is the capability? From where the capability will come? There has to be a capability. So with this two major portion, we started bilateral programs. Right now it is almost with 8 countries, which is funded by Department of Science and Technology, from Ministry of Commerce, from Ministry of Electronics and IT. So multiple programs are running on. We have done national programs also under different ministry. DRDO was one of the, we actually started this program, and TDF, Technology Development Fund. And if you see, this program is very interesting, where we are talking about defense technology indigenization, made in India, where the requirements will come from from tri-services, Army, Navy, Air Force, and the industry will actually develop based on the requirements coming from the services. And it will be funded by Government of India, especially DRDO. We have a technology acquisition fund program from Department of Heavy Industries, especially for capital and goods sectors. For startups, small scales industry, from DPITT, this was the program. Scientist exchange program, which is especially for Taiwan, because most of the program has been handled directly by the DST. So for Taiwan scientist academic It is related to the academic exchange program. And then multilateral partnership we have with EEN, European networks. GITA has also launched a innovation exchange platform for the industry, academia to come together to give their solutions, to have their solutions, to look for the partnerships. So this is the present portfolio with GITA. We are working in almost all the sectors. These are just some of the sectors I'm talking about, but it is not limited. Anything which is coming with the innovation, that novelty, with the national importance, which may give import substitutions, with the affordable solution, social impact, those kind of technology is almost always promoted at our platform. Where we fund, so if you see the over, this is a NASA technology readiness level. So if you see the overall technology readiness level, when we talk about the first three, it is only they generally most of the research will be done in academic collaboration. It is up to the proof of concept. When we talk about 4 to 7, academia needs industry collaborations to take it to the prototype development stage. And 8 and 9 is especially it is industry who has to do the commercialization. So we are funding in the area where there is a risk. There is a proof of concept, but I have to make a prototype. No bank will be funding, no venture capital will fund you because there is a risk of failure. Who will fund you for the development? So there is a value of debt where we say the industry need funds, and this is the area where we are funding. From TRL level, I should say 3 onwards, proof of concept onwards, to a TRL level 7, we are. This is the area we are actually funding, and industry is coming in collaboration with academia mostly, and they are actually developing prototype for this. This is a model. I said the government will share the risk. We share the risk up to 50%. There are limits also, and industry and academia can come as a collaboration, and they can get a 50% of the cost on the Indian side. Similarly, the industry which is coming from the counterpart country, they will get the cost from the international government. So we work with the international government. Both the government they will share 50%. So 25% risk on two industry. If the cost is 100 divided into 50-50 between India and the counterpart country, out of that 50, the 50% that is 25% is shared by GITA on behalf of DST, MOCI, and similarly by our international innovation agency. So the risk of R&D is 25% on each. You are getting technical know-how, design know-how with the help of the international partners. You are developing the capability in India which can help you to grow and develop an innovation ecosystem. So this is the construct with which we work in the piloted program. These are the programs with Israel, Spain, Canada, UK. We fund up to 8 crores, 1.5 crores, 50%. Every country has their. Similarly, our counterpart countries, they fund. Many programs are going on also presently. Academia, industry, we fund up to 50%. If academic or research institution, they come as a consortium partner, they will get 100%. Except Israel, in other program, they will get 100% as a pure grant. So any academia is coming as a collaboration with industry, they can get, and they have 100% grant for them to promote industry academic relationship. These are the global agencies with whom we are working, Canada, NRC, IREP. They have a very good system in their country. If you see the IREP system, how they work, they have spreaded the international technology advisors throughout the country. Each of the advisor is working with the industry in each of the states, and they will tell the company now how you have to grow, how you have to come up, and then they will tell now you are suitable for the international collaboration. You apply under this international programs with different countries. So very unique mechanism every country is having. Israel, everybody knows they are means their innovation ecosystems. It got developed because of the resource constraint, no water. Now they are good in agriculture, defense technology. South Korea also, especially automobiles, advanced manufacturing. So these are the countries, Sweden, ICT, transport, smart mobility. So these are the countries and these are our global innovation partners with whom we work. How this is just a role of GITA. We work from end to end, starting from the launch, formulations of policy documents, call, evaluations of this project with the help of experts, agreement signing. And the best thing about this model is we don't leave the project like this. We always have a mentoring committee, not a monitoring only, a mentoring committee which comprises of experts from technical and financial background, and they basically monitor the project, they mentor the project throughout the development stage. That if wherever the industry gets stuck up, these are the people who really help with their expertise, with their connect and network. So that is a very unique mechanism that we don't just fund it, we take them throughout the path also for 2 years to the development and ensure that they go to the success. These are the just timelines. Mostly we give 2 years as a project. We launch calls for 4 to 5 months. Evaluations, it takes 3 months because it includes international evaluations also. We do due diligence and then 24 months. So majorly 36 months and then it goes to a commercialization. We fund, so the program is to boost Indian industries. So we want the Indian industry should be registered under Company Act, and it should hold 51% holding of Indian. We do not fund MNCs. So that is the one eligibility criteria important now. So it took a time, though it is 10 years, but it's not an easy task because you have to commit at the government to government level between international countries. You have to push the system. You have to come out with the policy documents, MOUs, and then it starts a launch of program, awareness. You have to pull the industry to understand because we wanted to push MSME also. Majorly, we wanted to actually focus on the MSME ecosystems also, how it can push. So right now, more than 52 calls has been launched, 8 countries, 28 projects right now it has been completed. I think more than that also. Because now only we started getting the success stories every year. We are closing 8 to 10 projects which has completed the development stage, and many have gone to the market also. And this is the stage where right now we are there. I was talking about the GITA Innovation Exchange platform. It is also facilitate market access to the international platform, joint venture, transfer of technology, startups, VCP. We try to give our connects with our networking platform. And this platform has been launched, and more than 600 industries and also academia, they have actually registered at this platform right now. So with this, I just wanted to show you some videos of our success story, and then we can go to the Q&A session, and just stop sharing so that I just share the videos also. That what kind of project, small videos, if I can say.
A standard for ophthalmic assessment of optical coherence tomography is a non-invasive diagnostic instrument used for imaging the retina. Funded by DST through GITA, Biomedics Optotechnic and Devices developed a low-cost, low-power consuming ophthalmic imaging and measurement device as an alternative for eye diagnostics. This endeavor produced detailed scans with better image resolution and improved algorithms for more precise clinical analysis. This resulted in a better quality of life, especially in semi-urban centers. This endeavor is focused on an uninterrupted and affordable energy solution in rural areas. This enables savings of up to 60% compared to conventional systems, and results. Robotic surgery is now redefining medical treatment across the world. In India, however, it is expensive and mostly out of bounds for a large section of the population. Under the India-Korea Bilateral Industrial R&D Program, supported by DST and GITA, L&T Technology Services developed a prototype of an efficient and affordable training system for robotic surgeries. The result, just a 20 lakh rupees alternative versus a 12 crore market price. There are more than 60,000 pending insolvency cases in Indian courts. Under the India-Canada Bilateral Industrial R&D program funded by DST through GITA, Enkindle Technologies developed a cloud-based case resolution engine for insolvency case management, allowing real-time case-specific reactions and decisions to be generated autonomously. This endeavor accelerated the resolution of cases through advanced back-end technology, adaptable to local markets and customer needs. Intelligent transport management systems is a necessity in transport management in India. Under the India-Spain Bilateral Industrial R&D program funded by DST through GITA, NanoKernel has developed a smart bus scheduling with real-time optimization through dynamic scheduling and comprehensive depot management, including fleet and financial management. This endeavor ensures optimization of operational parameters of public transport systems, leading to economic efficiency and better service.
So these are some of the videos which I've seen. You can also visit our YouTube channel, where you can actually see all these videos also. With this, I would like to stop, and we can actually go for I hope I tried to give most of the information in a short time. I hope you got what actually I wanted to tell about how we can boost this area, and there is a lot of need to boost area innovation ecosystem. A lot of things are going on parallelly by different ministries also, and this is one mechanism by which we are doing it. And so now I can actually open it to you for a question.
Thank you so much, Rahul, and I'm sure you must have got many stories to tell to our participants. But due to paucity of time, we are not able to take all the questions. So I request my participants to write directly to Rahul so that he can address your queries there through email. So thanks again, Mr. Rahul, for answering the queries. So, and I'm sure our participants have answers for their queries. And so with this, I end the question and answer session. Now I invite Professor Nirmala for the final session, that is concluding and vote of thanks. So over to you, Professor Nirmala.
Thank you, Mamta. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Rahul for such an informative talk, and you gave an overview of GITA and its activities, and the sectors of engagements are really huge. And there are so many questions, like Mamta said, there are so many questions we want to ask you, but we will interact with you later. Yes, in policy, in our center, we work on public-private partnership, and we surely will look forward to reach out to you and how to strengthen the linkages between industry and academia, which is one of our mandate. And you're really right in saying that there is lack of awareness and everybody works in silo. That is, there is something missing gap, because we do excellent research, there are industries, but we are always looking for how the marketing. That is the most problematic part. Commercialization is not there. Also, you stressed on the IP, and IP generation is not there, because I think it is a little bit complex here, and the channels through which a researcher can file a patent, that is also very cumbersome. And sometimes in the universities also, we do not have a real proper cell of who can hold our hands, because in Europe there are specific. We had a talk last year from a resource person from France. They have hand holding. The researcher has not to do anything. He has to just give his innovation, and all the legal processes, all the industry, they will look up. So it's very easy for a researcher to just give his technology and take it to the market, because the researchers does not have all this expertise. Because if we go for patents and all, there's so many legal factors which need to be addressed and understood. This is one thing. So IP generation, and that is lacking. And also Mr. Shashi talked about regional sources. That is also one thing which I think India should focus upon, because India is, because I am from the biology section, I just like to mention that India is so much rich in diversity. We have so much we can do, but sometimes we, as from an institution, from university, we look to other countries, what research is being done there, instead of we are a gold mine. We have so many things we can take out. And during my experience also, when we go, because we talk about innovation, but an innovator needs a platform. If a researcher wants to do something, he needs some funding, and that also start his research. And then sometimes there is a lack of understanding, and those schemes or agencies, they have some particular frame of mind where they will focus on only this is important. And from the rural or from those areas, regional sources, they think that it's not important because they are not familiar with it. I know of persons where they formulated a project here, but it was looked down upon by the scientists. They said, no, this is not, we don't know about this, or this work is done so much, but it would have been very good. But the same person goes to South America, and there it is a success. They just lap it up. Oh, this is so new. So sometimes there is a lack of accepting new things, which I feel, as my 30 years of research, I've seen there is one thing also. So it's a complex, it's a mixture of things, which, and we have highlighted very well. And we are happy that GITA has successfully done so many projects. And I hope in these in bilateral collaborations, India must have benefited. We'll talk to you about that later. So thank you very much for such a wonderful talk. And then I would also like to thank Professor Rakesh Tuli. He's a very experienced and very good researcher, scientist, and he's doing a lot of work for our university. And Mr. Shishir also, who's joined us. So thank you both. And at the end, I would like to just thank our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, because he has been always very enthusiastic and told us to have these interacting sessions. And Professor Rajesh Gill, who the Dean Research, who was here with us, and all the faculty members, the students, the researchers who have joined this webinar. And last but not the least, I would like to thank my team in the center, Dr. Radhika, Dr. Mansimran, Mamta, Riddhi, Santosh, and Siraj, because we work as a team, and that is how we can go further. And so thank you, everybody. And we have another upcoming webinar from Mr. Jeepak Das Gupta from CII. That would be also good. We have from having the industry.
I know him. He has worked actually in GITA.
Okay.
So he was one of the person when GITA was started actually. So
Okay.
I know him very well.
Oh,
We have worked together. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to have him in August. So we end this webinar by just inviting you all again for that, and trying to improve in whatever way we can. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.